Hello everybody, it's Felix and Lucian here from the Tennis Brothers. Welcome to our new series of 50 Tiebreak 10 matches where we will play junior pros, ATP pros, coaches and even club players, all to raise awareness for our charities which are aiming to help lives of children through tennis.
Cardiac Risk in the Young, CRY, is a charity that wants every young person to have the choice to have their heart tested. If you're aged 14 to 35 and live in the UK, you can book a free heart screening.
The second charity is Tennis for the World, who are helping disadvantaged communities by sending donated tennis equipment to children who can develop and extend their skills in tennis and also just to keep them off the streets.
Please find more information in the link below, and if you have any people or friends who would like to help us and support us, then make sure you tell them.
Also, we are honoured to have Marcus Buckland, former Sky Sports presenter and now anchorman of football and tennis at Amazon Prime Video, who is going to be commentating over all of our matches.
A big thank you to Binny Benu and Head for sponsoring this series. Your support will help the charities change lives through tennis.
Please find further information below the video.
Enough said, let's bring on the first match.
My name's Jago, I play tournaments all over the country. My favourite surface is hard, and my favourite shot is the forehand.
So guys, as you know, I'm Felix, looking to play lots of ITF tournaments next year. My favourite shot is my forehand cross, and my favourite surface, like this, is the hard court.
So it's the older of the Tennis Brothers against the older of the Blewett boys. Jago Blewett is 15. He goes to St Benedict School in Ealing and will be sitting his GCSEs in the summer. Felix, of course, passed those with flying colours last year. He's now focusing on his A-levels and his tennis. And as he's mentioned, he's hoping to play a number of ITF juniors in the not too distant future. Standard tennis rules apply in this tiebreak of 10 match. The players will change ends every 6 points. It's the first to 10. If it gets to 9-all, you have to be 2 points clear. And as is always the case in this format, you really need to get off to a fast start. Jago's serve is going to be important today. It can be effective. It can at times break down as well, and clearly he won't want that to happen. But it's Felix to serve first. And we should at this point just give a big thank you to Virgin Active Chiswick Riverside for giving us the use of their fantastic indoor facilities for this series. Oh, that's a terrific body serve. Jago tucked up. Absolutely nothing he could do about that. Worth having another look. Yeah, he got himself into a right old state there. First strike to Mishka Senior. Now let's see if Jago can get his serve functioning right from the word go. Well, that's not bad for starters. Down the middle, a tentative forehand return was never going to land in, and that should give Jago a little bit of confidence. Also want to stress that during the course of this series, we want to put you in the direction of two really important charities as well. As Jago again clips the top of the net. www.c-r-y.org.uk. Cardiac Risk in the Young helps prevent young sudden cardiac death through awareness, screening, research and supporting affected families. More information in the top right hand corner of your screen. Now that's an unforced error, and again Jago can be capable of those. There's a lack of consistency at times which can cost him when he comes up against opponents who are perhaps just a little better than him. An area of his game that he'll need to work on. And the other charity we want to put you towards is Tennis for the World, a charity based in the United Kingdom that collects unwanted tennis equipment and clothing and distributes it to schools, colleges and social development projects around the world. That's more like it. The big forehand works for Blewett Senior. First really well constructed point from both players, and it's Jago who comes out on top. You can see Jago's younger brother Luca watching on. He's involved in this series up against Felix's younger brother, Lucien. And that must have caught the line. Splitting the tee, nothing Jago could do about that. Well, anything you can do, I can do too. Down the middle again, the players will change ends, and I'm sure Jago, when he looks back at this, will thoroughly enjoy the way that serve fizzed down the middle of the court, and Felix could only look on with a degree of admiration. The two mothers are looking on again as well, Olivia and Liz, who is Felix's mum. I believe they have plenty to talk about. Well, that was another well-placed first serve, a somewhat tentative return, and Jago has the advantage at 4-3. Jago, who reached the quarterfinals of a 14 and under Grade 2 national a year ago. That was his best performance at national level. He's come on in leaps and bounds since then. Grown a lot too, which has helped. And that's what he loves to do. Go back in behind an opponent, the big forehand setting him up. And the way he's constructing these points will give him a lot of confidence. They've played before at least twice on the main tour, as it were. I remember a few years ago, Felix taught Jago a real lesson at Gerrard's Cross. It was a little closer when they met at Bishop's Park more recently. Jago is still looking for a first win against Felix in the full format of the game. Perhaps he can strike though in this tie-break of 10. And that just fizzed off the surface of the court a little. The backhand from Felix goes into the net, and Jago is opening up a useful lead here. Felix, who loves burritos, says Wimbledon is his favourite Grand Slam. Close to home, of course, for him. Trains at Duke's Meadows. And as a general rule, he's up at 6:20 every morning to make sure he has sufficient time to devote enough energy to both his tennis and his academic work. Oh, he won't like that. You don't get up at 6:20 in the morning to come up with a miss-hit backhand return like that, and Jago moves into a 7-3 lead. Jago, like his brother Luca, a huge Tottenham Hotspur fan. Watches the Dallas Cowboys occasionally as well in the NFL. And plays a bit of cricket during the summer. And, well, that's another gift really from Felix. 5 points in a row for Jago. A little grin on his face there. I think he was expecting that. That's more like it from Felix though. And clearly as they change ends again, Felix has got to turn things around pretty quickly, having dropped those 5 successive points. Ranked at 41 in the country at 16 and under level. Hopes to go to the United States eventually with a tennis scholarship. He'll also hope to get a higher percentage of first serves in between now and the end of this particular contest if he is to emerge victorious. Oh, well, terrific defence initially from Felix, and then his favourite shot, the forehand cross court, and Jago caught a little bit in no man's land. Played the point really well up to this stage, did Jago. But you've got to remember what your opponent's strength is. And although this is well struck, it's not in the corner. And there's enough room for Felix to thread it through for a clean pass and a clean winner. He's missing again with that first serve. I mentioned a little earlier the inconsistencies on Jago's serve. He tends to collapse a little bit in the service motion, has a few problems with his throw up every now and then. And he can also be guilty of inexplicable unforced errors like that. Halfway up the net and having won 5 points in a row, Jago is in danger of handing the initiative back to his opponent here. This is getting a little nervy. And he's missed. He's missed with that forehand. It looked a good shot when he executed it, but just the wrong side of the line. Back on serve. Jago's a big fan of, amongst others, Roger Federer. One of Jago's middle names is Roger. Caught the line. And again, the forehand cross-court from Felix. It's set up quite nicely for Jago, but another unforced error. So having won 5 points in a row, Jago has now lost 5 points in a row. Well, would you believe it? Having got himself right back into the match, perhaps a little bit too much confidence there from Felix. And suddenly, Jago, after the wobble, has a match point. That ball's just rolling back, yeah. Of course you want to get on with it, but you also don't want to play with a ball lurking around on your side of the net. Match point, second serve. Oh, that's brilliant. That's a terrific way to close out victory. Again, it's the forehand that does the damage. Pulled Felix out of position, and then Jago's favourite tactic to go back behind the opponent. And I suspect when he looks back on this match, he will relish this 1-2 in particular. And that sinking feeling for Felix. He knew there was no way back. He threatened to come back, but it's Jago who wins by 10 points to 8. Let's get some reaction from the tennis brother.
Please help to spread the word by sharing this to your friends.
And also, subscribe to our channel to not miss any more Tiebreak 10 battles coming up.
And why not watch our previous other Tiebreak 10 videos? Click here to watch them.